Hi, my name is Christian Marquardt, and I'm presenting the DP1 Presentation for Team 36. Product is the Cable Caddy. So the project description, for this project we were supposed to make a product targeted for college students using a Arduino microcontroller that creates a moving part using a motor. So before we came up with a concept, like a design for our actual product, we had to see which opportunities we wanted to pursue that we felt would be the most beneficial for our team. So we used a tournament structure to compare our different opportunities. We had about 5 to 10 opportunities that we had in the beginning. We narrowed that down to 3, and those were the 3 that we felt would be the most beneficial for our team. So the first one was an automatic watering device that sensed when water was dry for plants and they could use water at need. The next was a food thermometer, and the final product is the Cable Caddy, which is the product we're making right now. It's a box that can retract or extract and store cables to keep your desk organized. So for strategies when designing this, we are doing technology leadership and customer focus, because there's already cable storage devices with none that utilize technology like our product will. And then customer focus, because throughout this entire design process, we're going to need to be keeping the customer in mind first, what's best for the customer when making this product. So after discussing our opportunities, we came up with our mission statement, which is kind of our list of goals. So we have the product description, as I mentioned, a box that using a motor that can retract and store cables. The benefits it can bring, it can remove clutter, and it can keep your desk more organized. The business goals, so what we're going to want to do as a team and as a brand is we're going to try and expand, grow bigger. That's obviously the goal, create a profit. And then our markets, which is anybody who works at home, specifically college students, anybody at desk. Hopefully, ideally, you can bring this product to and from work. And then we got our assumptions. Obviously, it has to use the microcontroller and a couple other things. And then we have our stakeholders, which is anybody involved in the process. So our customers, us, the people selling, the people building the actual cable caddy. So this is our customer profile. This is a fictional student that we feel would be most likely to buy our product. It's a student at Virginia Tech. So this is somebody who works hard, enjoys being at school, enjoys going to class, but isn't always the most organized. Sometimes they forget things. So using a cable caddy, this is the kind of person that could benefit and would be interested in buying it, because it helps keep their desk organized, keep them from forgetting products that could possibly lead them to not doing well in certain assignments in class. So this is our use case. This is just a couple of different examples of how you can use the product. So our first one is the most basic one. That's how basically just putting in your cables, retracting them, storing them, just to keep your desk organized. The next 2 are just issues that you could run into. Ideally, we're trying to minimize these, but if your cables do get tangled and you run into that kind of issue, you should be able to just take off the top and take the cables out of the product, and just so then you can put them back in an organized manner so that they won't break or get tangled. So this is our Gantt chart. This is just a timeline of our team's project, going from September to December. So the first 2 sections, the identification of customer needs and the establishment of target specifications, those 2 things have already been done, which is why they're in blue. All the other steps in red are part of the critical path, which means until we complete that part of the project, we cannot move on to the next part. And you have economic analysis, which takes about almost the entire length of the project, because when designing and creating a product, you always need to be keeping in mind and monitoring the economics, so you don't end up losing money, because that's the whole point of this project, is to end up creating a profit. So we did multiple interviews with different college students, our target audience, because we wanted to bring some people in who could think outside the box, who were not planning on making this product, who just were a bystander in this. So we felt we could get a lot of advice from our target audience, or our target customers. So we asked them what they typically use right now to store their cables. Most of them said zip ties, other kinds of ties to keep their cables all together. asked them what they liked about our current model, and most of them said they like that it can store multiple cables, because most people nowadays, you don't just have one charger. You have multiple chargers, you have a pair of headphones, a cable for your headphones you need to store. Dislikes, one of the biggest fears from our interviews is that the product could get tangled or broken. And the suggested improvements is that just reinforcing the idea that it's small enough to fit on or under a desk, so that, because if it were too big, it would defeat the purpose of having a product that could help store and organize your desk. And something that could be portable, something that can go back and forth, something to and from work, or to and from the library or study area. So this is our customer needs slide. So we took the statements, a lot of the statements from the interviews, and we wrote those down, and then we used that to create a survey. So the people we interviewed could rank what they felt was most important for the product. And so we interpreted their statements as needs for the product, and then once we had all the different needs that they felt were important, and we ranked those in terms of importance, we were able to kind of get an idea in what direction we wanted to focus on when creating the cable caddy in the upcoming prototype development process. So this is our QFD chart. This is where we took our customer needs from the previous slide after the survey, and they ranked which they felt were most important. We put those all into a visual chart, just so it's kind of easier to see what's more important and which direction we want to go, because just looking at a chart with words isn't going to tell you how important it is with numbers. So creating a visualization is essential for us as a team to understand what we need to do. So there's a competitive benchmarking. We went on Amazon and some other websites to try and figure out where figure out other products that are similar. And so we found a cable management system that we felt was kind of similar to our product. It doesn't utilize the technology that we're going to be using. So we have the data for the product, kind of the size, the price, all the different kind of stuff that we can compare to our cable caddy when we're actually building the cable caddy. So this is $27.95, but our price is going to be much higher because we are using the hardware. So one of the last slides, this is our economic analysis. So we decided to go with the scenario one, which means there's only one break-even point. And that break-even point is at 400 units sold. So VTEPs give us a $10,000 fixed cost, and then it's a $25 variable cost, so it's $25 to produce each product, and then we're going to sell that for $50. So we're going to be making $25 on each product. And so we analyzed up to 1,000 units sold, and that would be a 15,000 margin, 15,000 profit margin. So this is our last slide. This is the product summary. So just to go back over what our product does, it automatically retracts and stores the cables, and it senses the tension in the cables, and it helps keep your area organized. Thank you very much.